I represent Borno North Senatorial District. I wholeheartedly concur with the submissions made by distinguished Senator Adiola and distinguished Senator Boje that there is need for us to take our time to peruse through the whole bill, especially against the backdrop of the fact that this bill seeks for repeal and reenactment of the law, and as such there is need for us to have a closer look at the nitty-gritty of the bill before passage, in view of the very fundamental issues raised conformity with the Constitution, repeal and reenactment. So I support the submissions made by the two previous speakers that we take our time, look at it, so that we don't pass such a very important bill in a rush. Thank you.
Well, a submission has been made by a very senior legal mind. So I don't know whether the minority leader thinks he has more knowledge of law than Mr. Maybe you will bring native intelligence to bear.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. As a matter of fact, I just merely want to concur to re-emphasize the importance of meticulous examination of laws when it comes to repealing and reenactment, and particularly for the second part of the bill, because if I heard him very correctly, he also said the fourth bill should fall into this category. But we don't have copies of that one yet, but we have copies of this one. And if you look at the fourth bill concerning the fire service, I do not actually think that there is anything to add to what is being advocated here, because we're talking about the Federal Fire Service, and then of course repealing it and then reenacting another one. The rescue component that they are putting now, even as it is now, is an aspect of fire service, because fire service is essentially preventing fire, fighting fire, providing rescue, and in emergencies, especially accidents and other emergencies. So I do not see the raising the tide for repealing and reenacting a new Federal Fire Service and rescue establishment. I think it is unnecessary. Just the same way that they corrected the prison service law to say correctional service, that correctional service is just an aspect of the prison system. But that is not here for now. But for now, I think that the prison service, the fire service as it is, encompasses what is being proposed anew. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah, thank you, distinguished minority leader. I think also you've just raised an issue that is futuristic. We shall also look into this correctional center thing, because laws are meant to punish and also to correct. So if by the time you are convicted and you are sent to prison, you are supposed to even learn skill while you are inside the prison. So then the ethical reorientation and all that. So it's not only when we specifically call it correctional center, and yet we are not correcting. I know since we changed the name to correctional center, we have had more jailbreaks, because maybe they relaxed the discipline because of the word correctional. So I think we are already hinting on that the legislation may want to look at that issue again, so that the name will not deceive us, that they are there to be corrected. And the process they can walk in and walk out, even when their tenure of imprisonment has not been exhausted. So is it the view of the Senate that this bill be now, these two bills be now read second time? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. Oh no, let's come. Bearing in mind that the bill is for concurrence, or the two bills are for concurrence. we have agreed that we can go ahead. We should actually go ahead and read them second time, but defer all the case to another legislative day. And then we come back to go through cross by cross. Mr. President, while I need to go I would like to say that being chairman the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission is a constitutional body, and it's a body that has a lot of enormous responsibilities, which extend not just to the federal government, but to the states and local governments as well. Therefore, we need really to have a collective understanding of the intendment of this, so that we don't give it powers under the law, which the Constitution itself does not give. So it's a very tricky situation here. We have to look at the powers that have been granted to this commission under the Constitution and make sure that the law itself respects the intendment of the makers of the Constitution. These are the major concerns. So I think instead of opening it just like that, it's better to prepare this submission to the three committees so that we can sit down, go through it side by side with the Constitution, and then make a submission to this chamber. But that does not eliminate the need for every member of the Senate to be given a copy of this law, this legislation, so that when we come to do the presentation, a joint presentation, people are quite informed of the issues involved and can make effective contributions. I so submit, Mr. President. We have actually concluded the debates, and the Senate President is left with no option than to put the question. So we are with a bill for concurrence of an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act, Cap R7, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and to enact the Revenue Mobilization and Allocation and Fiscal Commission, to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals, to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account, and to bring the Act in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and for other related matters with 2024. Is it the view of the Senate that, having listened to the submissions of the leader, that this bill may now be read a second time? Those who are in support that the bill be now read a second time say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The clerk of the Senate.
Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act, Cap R7, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and to enact the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to and disbursement of revenue from the Federation account, and bring the Act in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as altered, and for other matters related therewith, 2024, HB 471, second reading. Mr. President, distinguished senators, a bill for an act to repeal the Fire Service Act, Cap F 29, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Federal Fire and Rescue Service Establishment Bill and for related matters 2024, HB 211, second reading.
Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to repeal the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act, Cap R7, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and enact the Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission Act to grant the Commission enforcement powers in the monitoring of accruals to and the development of revenue from the Federation account, and to bring the Act in conformity with the provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended, and for other related matters therewith. Second reading taken. Distinguished colleagues, a bill for an act to repeal the Fire Service Act Cap F 229, Laws of the Federation of Nigeria 2004, and to enact the Federal Fire Service, Federal Fire and Rescue Service Establishment Bill and for related matters 2024. Second reading taken. In line with the arguments of distinguished senators, is it the view of the Senate that these two bills, in view of their importance, will now refer to the committees on finance, national planning, committees on national planning and economic matters, committees on finance and appropriation, and committees on interior to do clause by clause considerations and revert to the Senate within 4 weeks. Those in support of this proposition say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the two bills are therefore referred to the various committees mentioned to do detailed work and to revert to the Senate in 4 weeks. Leader of the Senate.
Your Excellency, Mr. Senate President, the chief order of the day is a motion standing in my name on the urgent need to revive and complete the tall Centenary City project Abuja to realize its economic and development potential. Mr. President, you wish to invite me to move the motion.
I hereby invite you to move the motion. Leader of the Senate, you may proceed to move the motion.
Inside your
Motion is encapsulated in the other paper.
The motion is on urgent need to revive and complete the tall Centenary City project Abuja to realize its intrinsic economic and development potential. Sponsored by Senator Ululola and the Side. The Senate notes that Abuja Centenary Economic City project commenced in 2014, some 10 years ago, through a public-private partnership to develop a modern city in the mode of Dubai to commemorate our 100 years of amalgamation. Also note that original vision for Abuja Centenary Economic City was for it to serve as a potential economic hub with plans to create over 150 construction jobs and 250,000 permanent and well-paying jobs, residential accommodation for over 200,000 residents, and facilities to attract over 500,000 daily visitors, among others. Further note that original estimated investment for Abuja Centenary Economic City project was 18.5 billion United States dollars as of 2014, equivalent to the size of Nigerian national budget at today's exchange rate. Observe that significant process has been made of similarly ambitious 6 billion Eco-Atlantic City project in Lagos, a 25-kilometer land reclamation project with varied completed residential towers and 8-lane boulevard marinas, water treatment facilities, and power infrastructure, among others. Aware that Abuja Centenary City was designated as a free trade zone under the regulatory oversight of Nigerian Export Processing Zone Authority. It tapped into that to their statutory agencies like Federal Capital Territory, Investment Company IC, and Abuja Infrastructure Investment Center. Further observe that Abuja Centenary project has stalled for almost 10 years since the commencement. Developmental estimate of less than 7% of road construction and other critical infrastructure as adjudged by the report of independent investigation assessment in November 2023. This falls drastically short of expectation and the original vision of the project's construction. Concerned that there is ambiguity in regulatory and implementation between the concerned stakeholders, leading to neglect of Abuja Centenary Economic City design blueprint. Recognizing that reviving and completing Abuja Centenary City project will have immense benefits for Nigeria, including job creation, elevating Nigerian profile as an attractive investment destination for foreign investment, tourism and events, and overall national development. Accordingly resolved, the urge the Senate to set up an ad hoc committee on relevant agencies in the affairs of Abuja Centenary City project to urgently investigate the factors impeding the completion of the Centenary City. Specifically tasked the committee to review the original public-private partnership agreement and recommend amendments, if necessary, to facilitate smooth and expeditious completion of the project within the defined time frame. Urge the federal government to prioritize the revival of Abuja Centenary City project by providing appropriate support, resolving regulatory issues, and addressing any other impediments, giving as beneficial potential environment to the economy and people of Nigeria after 10 years of project.
Before you end, in the body of the motion, we are talking about mandate the committee on FC to urgently investigate the factors leading the completion of the Centenary City project. But in your submission, you are saying set up an ad hoc committee. So you have to choose one. Are you going with what is there? Which is look at the motion. The motion. Can you hear me well? Can you hear me? What is inside the body of the motion is to mandate the FCT committee. But what was submitted by the leader is to have an ad hoc committee to look into the issue. So which one do you want to start now?
So, I think that should be expanded beyond the FCT committee.
That's fine. So to second the motion, distinguished Senator Mr. Jibu. Of them.
Your Excellency, the President of the Senate, very distinguished colleagues, I am a citizen representing the very people of Kogi East. Your Excellency, I rise to support this motion, greatly moved by the leader of the House. It is apt, and I believe that at the end of the day, we should be able to give all the necessary support to see that this motion passes the Senate. Having said that, Your Excellency, I want to make a little contribution if you so permit. Okay. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, this is one of the cases of abandoned projects in Nigeria, and it is very, very sad. A lot of money has been injected into that project. And as it is today, for more than 10 years, the project remains abandoned. And the implication of that is that whatever money has been spent there, okay, it's like a sunk fund that can never be recovered. And I want to believe that given the economic viability of that project, we may have to go through the private sector initiative to continue with that project. As it is today, given the state of Nigerian economy, given the abysmal revenue base of Nigerian economy today, I don't think the federal government is in a position to inject any additional fund into that place. Okay? So I believe that the private sector should drive this process. And in doing that, I also want to call on the Federal Ministry of Finance to put together a team of investment bankers worldwide. Most of these projects of this nature are driven by the private sector. Okay, so if the Ministry of Finance can put together a team of investment bankers to come up with a package, okay, that will enable investors to invest in that project by way of ordinary shares and debt, I think it will be a good combination. Debt and shares, ordinary shares and debt. Ordinary shares to those who are ready to invest by way of equity, and then thereafter debt by those who are ready to invest by way of debt funding. So, Mr. President, I want to believe that going forward, it is better for us to concentrate on the private sector. There is no way the Nigerian economy as it is today, there is no way the federal government can inject anything to that place. There are many other demands of the federal government that I believe are more urgent than this one. This one is a long-term project. This type of project is actually supposed to be self-funding. Okay, self-funding in the sense that it will, whatever fund that is injected to that place at a future point in time, the project will be able to pay back itself. The project will be able to pay back itself over a period. So it's not something that the federal government can wake up now, given the amount of money involved, and inject into that place. I don't believe the federal government has the capacity or even the willingness to do that. I believe it should be confined to the private sector, and that can be conveniently handled if we have a group of investment bankers. And the investment bankers, like I said earlier, can be put together by the Ministry of Finance. with the support of the Debt Management Office. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yes, Senator Adhering.
Thank you, Mr. President, and my distinguished colleagues. I'm Senator Adhering, representing Borno South. First of all, Mr. President, I want to commend the Deputy Senate leader for bringing up this very important motion, and it should be treated as such. Mr. President, the consumption of the project is very laudable. Many Nigerians are looking at it. Unfortunately, as you say, 10 years after the launching, we have not achieved any progress. It will be one of our great achievements if the 10th Senate can restart that project, which is very, very important. And looking around the world, it is such project that makes a city bigger, better, and beautiful. You hear or you see everywhere in Abuja, whether it's on your way to Kepi, Kaduna, the Kogi, you see so many estates, but they are all developed in a reverse order. What do I mean by that is that they do the houses first, scatteredly, some completed, some not completed, no roads, no water system, no security, no access, and you see estates all over Abuja. But without planning and execution, you see most of the estates as an extension of the slum, where there is no plan. But we can correct that by starting with the Centenary City, which is private partnership project, as we call it. But it has been stalled because of this interest or whatever. I agree solely that the committee on FCT, I don't think there's a need to have an ad hoc committee. I don't support this idea of any issue that comes up to set up ad hoc committee. Why did we give the committee the responsibility then? Our committees are based on capability of our colleagues. So unless the issue at stake cannot be properly placed, it's neither here nor there, then you set up an ad hoc committee. But since we have committee on FCT, I think they should be charged with that responsibility. Unfortunately, the chairman of committee on FCT is an expert. He was working in FCT all his life, and I think he is part of this scattered estate something. So now he can see the difference himself and make a proper decision by finding out. In fact, now if you ask him why did it fail, he'll be able to answer it because he was there as Director Treasury FCT. Having said that, Mr. President, I want to emphasize, if we do this and it takes off, it will be a big achievement to the 10th Senate. And by God's grace, if there is significant progress in that project, everybody will remember, or anybody that sees that project will also remember the 10th Senate. Let me conclude, sir, by giving an example. Cairo is in every aspect level with Nigeria. I don't know whether you have gone to Egypt lately. It's what they call the new Cairo. And now they are doing the second phase, that is the new Cairo second phase. In New Cairo, You even have the military formation, police formation, 5-star hotels, 3-star hotels, shopping mall, estates of all class, high class and lower in one place outside Cairo. Now it's been completed and at mere occupation. The new third Cairo has everything including new National Assembly, new presidential lodge, 5-star hotel, American city, Chinese city within one environment, and it's I think about 15 to 20 kilometers out of Cairo, connected with speed train that you can be in the old city in 10 to 15 minutes. Even the president is moving there. And let me say that it started 10 years ago exactly, because since he started it in 2014 and it's completed, and it was completed last year. So that means that the Centenary City, if we are serious, should have been completed by now. So I urge my colleagues to support this motion so that we make sure that this project takes off again and to find out why did it not happen. Thank you.
Well, distinguished colleagues, I acknowledge the contributions of everybody, but I must say that from the little I know about this Centenary City, it was meant to be a private sector driven city. I don't think the federal government has spent money on it, and outside maybe acquisition of the land or something for it. But there is such a fantastic idea that even Saudi Arabia is building a new city now. So Abuja is already getting congested, and if this is done, I think it will help. So we must take it very seriously. So let's go straight into the prayers. Prayer 1. Set up an ad hoc committee to urgently investigate the factors impeding the completion of the Centenary City project in Abuja and recommend ways of reviving same. Those in favor of prayer 1 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Prayer 1 is carried as amended. Prayer 2, specifically task the committee, the ad hoc committee, to review the original public-private partnership agreement and recommend amendments if necessary. Of course, prayer 2 goes together with prayer 1. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. It goes mutandis. Prayer 3 urge the federal government to prioritize the revival of the Abuja Centenary City project by providing appropriate support, resolving regulatory issues, and addressing any other impediment, given its beneficial potential to the economy and people of Nigeria after 10 years of stalled progress. Those in support of prayer 3 say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Accordingly, we hereby set up the ad hoc committee because of the seriousness of this project. We have a 7-man committee to look into the issue. The Senior Senator Barau Jibrin, Deputy Senate President, will be the chairman of that committee. The Senior Senator Solomon Olamilekan will look at it, will be a member. The Senior Senator Sitangu will be a member. The Senior Senator Orwell Onyeso will be a member. The Senior Senator Titus Lam will be a member. The Senior Senator Bomai, the chairman of FCT, will be a member. And the Senior Senator Tamboa, in charge of housing, will be a member.
No, let me finish my one. Then the chair can decide. Small leader. Sir, the mover of the motion is an architect. And he knows I've seen something.
Have they started the architectural structure yet?
No, but it should be.
No, I want to thank the deputy leader for bringing this to the fore.
But it should be a member of the committee.
Even if he's not a member, the deputy senate president has the right to co-opt him into the committee in order to get to the root of the matter and to bring back the report to the Senate in 4 weeks. Yes.
Standing on order 83, I want to move that we as NCP be able to permit all the outstanding items in order to
Yes. Minority leader.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do extend time to enable the Senate to complete the remaining items on the order paper. I so second.
Between colleagues, the motion has been moved and seconded that we do extend the time of sitting beyond 2 o'clock to enable the Senate complete with the assignment on the order paper. Those in support of the motion as moved and seconded say aye. Those again say nay. The ayes have it. Yes. Leader of the Senate.
Your Excellency, Mr. Senate President, distinguished colleagues, sixth order of the day is a motion standing in the name of distinguished Senator Dawood Suleiman Abdulrahman on the urgent need to expedite the completion of Ujil Gaya Duze dual carriage road on Kano Maiduguri Road. Mr. President, you may wish to invite Senator Dawood Suleiman to move.
Yes, the leader. Off your mic. Yes, Senator, and do my point of order.
It's order 15, sir. No, order 55.
55.
Yes, sir.
Read.
And I read 10, 11, 12, and 13. Can I read?
Go ahead.
Okay. Order 55 is on behavior of senators in the chamber or in the Senate. And I go straight to 10. And I crave the indulgence of our distinguished colleagues to read the whole 55, but I will read this 10 because it's coming from the minority leader. During a sitting, all senators should be silent or shall confer only in truth. Under 11. No senator shall be allowed to smoke, chew, or drink upon the floor of the Senate. 12. No senator may interrupt another senator while speaking. I will repeat that one. No senator, even you are tall or short or medium, may interrupt another senator. Then A. To call attention or point of order privilege suddenly arising. To call attention to want of the quorum. That is except unless. Then to call attention of the presence of the stranger. Or D. To move a closure motion. And E. To move that the business of the day be called on. Mr. President, please, and distinguished colleagues, please, especially this that touches on our behavior, is very important because whatever we do here by now is all over the world, and this is Senate. So it's important to allow every senator to address the senator colleagues in silence. And if you have any observation or anything, you will be allowed to have your turn to even condemn what the previous speaker said. But it is not good for somebody to be speaking, your colleague to be speaking. That is his own opinion. It may be right or wrong, but that is his own. That is why he is elected. That is why he is here. I cannot think the way you think. I cannot speak the way you speak. That's why we're all different. It's very important because this thing is getting out of hand.
The point of order is Is there anybody that is saying that you shouldn't shout the way you normally shout?
I'm not shouting. I'm only
So,
speaking.
okay, let's put it this way.
And
Is there any senator that is against the way you speak?
No, but my job
Is
is
there any
even
senator
shouting.
that has interrupted you since you started?
With all due respect, Mr.
I believe that this
my
chamber,
work is to shout.
no, but this chamber has never been acquired as this before. The senators have behaved today very, very well. I don't know whether it is because we have moved to the permanent sitting, but the senators have behaved so well today. This point of order should have been in the old interim chamber when even you were shouting and shouting and shouting. But this one, the senators have behaved so well. But if you have noticed anything, please point it out.
But with all due respect, Mr. Senate President,
yes,
don't forget that I'm the chief whip.
Yes.
In fact, what I'm supposed to do is to shout. You people.
Since you are the chief whip, your point of order is upheld. Yes, Senator Kawu.
Thank you, Mr. President, my dear distinguished colleagues. I am Suleiman Abraman Kawu Sumaila Oyapar, representing Kano South Senatorial District from Kano. Mr. President, my motion is an urgent need to expedite the completion of Udilgaya Duse dual carriage road and Kano Maiduguri road. The Senate notes that the Kano Maiduguri Expressway, a critical artery for transporting people and agricultural goods across several states, including Kano, Jigawa, Bauchi, Yobe, Borno, was awarded a dualization contract by the federal government 17 years ago under former President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo's administration. However, successive administration had failed to complete this vital project. Also note that in 2018, the President Buhari-led administration commitment to improving road transportation led to the award of so many road contracts to restore many of the dilapidated roads in the county. Among this project was the renewed contract for the dualization of Kano Maiduguri road. Aware that a major transportation upgrade on the horizon, a brand new 2-lane highway will be built along with the improvement to the existing road. To tackle this ambitious project, it is divided into 5 manageable sections. The first section focuses on Kano, Wudil, Gaya, Shuarin in Jigawa State, when the subsequent section cover and connect Shuarin to Adhering to Pataskum, Damaturu to Maiduguri. Also aware that section 1 is the most extensive, spanning roughly 202.7 kilometers. It involves constructing a brand new, up-to-standard 2-lane expressway. This new highway began in Kano and traveled through Gaya local government area, both in Kano, before reaching its end point in Shuarin, Jigawa State. Also aware that Section 1 cognizant that as an international route linking Nigeria to Chad and Cameroon and Niger, Kano Maiduguri road facilitates cross-border trade. A functional road will lower transportation costs, encourage regional trade partnership, and attract foreign investment. Also cognizant that Entata and Sao Construction Company Limited, Nigeria Limited, was awarded the contract for the Section 1. Unfortunately, despite initial work, the project appeared to be behind schedule. A large section of the road remained incompleted, stretching from Udil and Gaya in Kano State all the way to Jigawa State border. What is that unfinished section between Udil and Gaya in Kano State is particularly dangerous. Only one lane of the planned dual carriageway is completed, or is almost completed. Almost are completed, forcing drivers to navigate a single lane in both directions. This significantly increases the risk of accidents in that highway. Also, what is that unfinished section between Udil and Gaya in Kano State poses a great danger to drivers. With only one lane completed on a planned two-lane road, it poses vital traveling in both directions to navigate a single lane. This is a type of disaster, and immediate action is required to finish construction and ensure driver safety. Disturbs that in a concerning development all the way back in July 2023, the House of Representatives took action under the stalled progress of Section 1 of Kano Maiduguri Road, following a motion by Honorable Yusuf Shitu Galambi highlighting the long delay. Particularly, the project was originally approved in October 2006. A committee was established to investigate the contractor's abandonment of the project. However, it is now May 2024, and there is still no official word from the government regarding the step taken or plan to address this critical issue. This lack of transparency is deeply worrying for the communities affected by the unfinished roads. Also disturbs that while the other four sections of the road started completed, Section 1 remain in a shocking state of repairs. This unfinished stretch poses a constant threat to commuters. Shocked that this section of Kano Maiduguri Express Road, more especially from Udil to Gaya, has become a notorious hotspot for accidents. These crashes are not just statistically frequent, they are devastatingly tragic. Hundreds of lives have been lost here, and human cost is immeasurable. The material damage is staggering as well, with accident causing millions of naira in property loss. Just last month, in April 2024, the horrific accident claimed the life of 11 people. The victims were found beyond recognition. A stark reminder of the severity of this accident. To make matters worse, this dangerous environment provides a haven for criminals who prey unsuspecting travelers, blocking the road in the evening. Accordingly, resolved to mandate the Committee of Works to interact with the Honorable Minister of Works to address the thrust of this motion and any other sin which is happening can facilitate achieving the objective. I so submit, Mr. President.
Dismissed, Senator Kaka.
Name is Kakashe Lawan. I represent the good people of Borno Central Senatorial District. I am from Borno State, Northeastern Nigeria. Mr. President, I rise to second the motion ably moved by distinguished Senator Kawu Sumaila, and with the leave of Mr. President, I would like to lend my voice. Mr. President, sir, the Maiduguri-Kano Expressway is a trunk-A road and is one of the most important roads in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Maiduguri-Kano Road, as rightly pointed out by the distinguished Senator Kawu,
crisscrosses about 5 states of the northwest and the northeast. And I make bold to say that that is the only expressway we have in the northeastern part of Nigeria. It is very unfortunate that the only road we have is also subject to frequent attacks by bandits, Boko Haram, and all sorts of criminals. More so, it also claims many lives by the day. Mr. President, even in the spirit of inclusivity, all other roads in Nigeria should be suspended for now to give attention to that road first, because we are the only region that are marginalized without any express road apart from that. Mr. President, I support this motion, and then I want the contract that is ongoing to be investigated, not only reviewed, because there are a lot of frauds in the ongoing road, Mr. President, in ongoing construction. So as such, I wholeheartedly support the motion while calling on this Senate to support us. That is the only express we have, only expressway in the whole of the Northeast, and it crisscrosses from the Northeast to the Northwest down to Abuja and other parts of the country. I so support. I thank you, Mr. President.
Senator Goji.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am Mohammed Nandina Goje, representative of the Central. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I stand to fully support this motion. It's a very important motion, and most of the points have been adequately stated by the mover of the motion. And the second speaker has also raised a very important issue which I want to support. That this is the only dual carriageway that we have in the Northeast. And for the last 17 years, it has not been completed. And I want to also amend or add additional information which the mover has not said. There are 2 sections of the road that have not been completed. Beside the Gaya section, we have the Danish Lake Medieval section, which is also not completed. So the 2 issues the 2 sections of the road will be taken simultaneously. But it's very important to say that even while distributing scoop in Nigeria, it is only in the Northeast that only one road is being funded by scoop, and they divide they call it 5 sections of the same road. The road is divided into 5 sections. When they give scoop in some other zones, 3, 4, 5 roads, they will give scoop to one road, Maiduguri Kano, but they call it section 1, section 2, section 3. All right. Out of the 5 sections now, for the last 17 years, all the 3 sections have been completed. So 2 sections have not been completed, despite the scoop, despite it is the only road that has dual carriageway facility in the Northeast. The other one has not even started. I don't know why we are being marginalized in the Northeast, because I knew the second road that should have been done from Akonga to Jos, to Bauchi, to Gombe, and Yola was announced at the same time with the one from Akonga, from Abuja to Kefi, to Akonga to Lafia. The one for Lafia has been completed 100%. Why the one for Northeast has not even started? We don't know why there is this kind of differential treatment to the various people of this country. So this motion is very important. Maybe we'll have to bring another motion for this particular abandoned, neglected carriageway that has not been taken, that has not got attention of the federal government. But for this one now, these 2 sections, not only Kano Gaya, but also Kano Gaya, in addition, we have Beni Sheikh Maiduguri. We want the federal government to look into it, for that action. There are several contractors, more than 5 contractors are on the same road. It's the only road that has this kind of arrangement. Abuja to Kano is being handled by one contractor. I don't know why they get 5 contractors in one road, not Kano to Maiduguri. Anyway, it has happened. All we are urging
the Senate to do something to ensure that these two sessions are completed. Thank you. So, with these comments, Mr. President, I fully support this motion and I hope that our right will be heard. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Distinguished Senator Bangida, and then we're going to the.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I'm Senator Babangida Hussein, representing Jigawa Northwest. I'm from Jigawa State. I fully subscribe to the motion presented by Senator Kawu Sumaila. But I think by way of information, I probably share some issues that will help in determining the direction which prayer will take. First of all, the section 1 of this route, Kano to Shuari, was awarded to Ventaka and Sao. And I personally investigated the issues around the project in 2021. And the issues are mainly one, the issue of compensation, which unfortunately the then Federal Executive Council directed states to pay compensation, not the federal government. And most state governments cannot be able to pay the compensation arising from the construction of the highway. Most particularly, that road cut across major commercial towns, Wudil, Gaya, and even Shuari. There are a lot of filling stations lying along the roads. So therefore, compensation was a problem. Secondly, the Gaya interchange had contractual issues. The contractor had to be removed. Another one brought in which delayed the process because the procurement process was start all over again. Having said that, however, I also noticed the inability of the contractor, Eltaka and Sao, to continue work. I personally released a lot of funds to that particular section of the road because of the carnage and the loss of lives on that particular road, especially between Gaya and Wuji. There are a lot of crevices, a lot of gullies that trucks laden with goods, fish from Maiduguri, passengers are dying on a daily basis. So I think beyond even discussing the motion itself and maybe reach across the needs of work, my candid opinion is this chamber should direct the Senate Committee of Works to go and inspect the road for a critical assessment of the situation and a report brought and laid before the Senate for consideration. Thank you very much for the motion and I appreciate the concern of the Senate. Thank you, sir.
The Deputy Senate President, anytime Kano is mentioned in the motion, you must raise your hand. But I thought Kawu is also from Kano, so that the submission should have taken care of your interest. But if it has not, please go ahead and ask.
Thank you, Mr. President. I stand in solidarity with my brother in supporting this motion. Mr. President, what is happening within that stretch of the road is a sad commentary on the way we execute projects in this country. Yes, I quite commend the federal government for what it has done on the other stretch of the road. Well constructed, you go from Kano to being well constructed, and from Jigawa down to Adhering and Protestant well constructed. But the problem is as clearly defined in this motion. Within there, very, very bad. From Maiduguri or maybe check to Maiduguri, very, very bad. So the call here is in line with what the former permanent secretary of works outlined. We need to really tell our committee on what to move in to see why there's no action on that on those structures. That action should be taken immediately to save life. And it's a very, very important road because the economic benefits we derive from applying that cannot be overemphasized. So I want my colleagues to support this motion and I want to commend Senator Kawu for bringing forward this motion. I just something to
There's no single person opposed to the motion. And I think at this stage, we should go into the prayer. The prayer I see is to mandate the Committee on Work to interact with the Honorable Minister of Work to address the cost of these motions and any other thing which, in his opinion, can facilitate the achievement of the objective. Yeah, no, but let's, are you amending prayer one? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to amend as follows. To mandate the Committee of Works to interact with Honorable Minister of Works to address the cracks of this motion, which should also include the Benishek Maiduguri section and any other thing which in his opinion can facilitate achieving the objective. The idea is to include us Benishek Maiduguri section, which are not included in this motion.
Include the
Benishek Maiduguri section.
Benishek
Maiduguri section of the road.
Any second? Yes, Senator Lam.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I write to second the amendment moved by distinguished Senator Ahmad Godu.
Distinguished colleagues, the motion has been amended, the prayer has been amended and seconded that this August Assembly should mandate the Committee on Work to interact with the Honorable Minister of Work to, amongst other things, address the crux of this motion, which is the completion of this road, to include also the Benishek Maiduguri section of the road, and to do every other thing possible to facilitate the speedy completion of this very economic road. Those who are in support of the prayer as amended say aye. Those who are against say nay. The ayes have it. I must thank Mr. Senator Saul for bringing this to the fore. And the new senator, this is a very important road, a very important economic road. It will also address the security situations that we face in the northeast and other parts of the northwest of the country, and it will bring a lot of economic benefits to the people. So your concern and the concern of the distinguished senators are noted and appreciated. So we thank you for bringing this to the fore. And I do hope our minister will act expeditiously in order to address the issue. Another thing that is just aside, since we are talking about road construction, is that the Committee on Work will also brief us on the new policy of paying compensation. Because I understand some of the road construction are stalled as a result of the fact that compensations are now the responsibilities of the states. And then a state that does not have money, so even before, is that a new policy? So if the compensation is the responsibility of states, if the amount of the compensation is more than the amount of construction of the road, it means the project will never be done. So we must find a way to renegotiate so that it could be a contributory thing. The state can contribute a part of it, and the federal government can, because we want to have growth, we want to have development. So if one arm of it does not perform, it means that that project is stalled and can take for the next 24 years without doing that. So I think the Committee on Work should discuss with the minister with a view to finding a solution in that direction. So I thank all of you for your contribution, and I thank the people of this motion for what you have done. Now, finally, we have a slight differential in the Southeast Development Commission Bill 2024. So there's need for a bit of conference commission to sort that out. The House of Representatives have done something on it, and to ensure that the bill is sent for immediate action by the President. We want this 3-man committee to work with the committee from the House of Reps to look into it. So the conference committee from our side will be headed by the new Senator Mokulu, and then the new Senator Ndubeze, Patrick Ndubeze, and the new Senator Ekong Samson on the Southeast Development Commission. And I believe working with the nominees from the House of Representatives, they should be able to get back to the Senate within 1 week. Am I right? Is it the view of the Senate that we give them 1 week to get back to us? Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. It's a very important bill, and we want to get to the bottom of it immediately. Then we also have a very slight differential on the National Assembly Library and Resource Center. I think the Senate proposed 1 tenure simplicity for the Executive Secretary, but the House proposed 4 years and renewable thereafter. We need to harmonize that. We proposed 5 years of single tenure, while the House proposed 2 tenures of 4 years. And this is meant for people who are retired from either the Senate or the House of Representatives as Executive Secretary. So just that alone, then we can, and the bill will be forwarded to Mr. President for assent. So, in view of that, the harmonization committee to look at this will be headed by the senior senator, Webu, and then we have the senior senator, Simon Lalong, as member, and the senior senator, Kobo, as member. The intention there is for us to continue to deepen knowledge and to learn. Most of our other senators are already well versed with the process. Having exhausted the items on the order paper, I'd like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to all the senior senators, including the Deputy Senate President, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, distinguished senators, for coming en masse to support me when I was received by my senatorial district. I look forward to also coming to your senatorial districts when they are receiving you and when they are giving you order. And I also want to use this medium to publicly thank His Excellency Senator Moino, the PDP governor of Akwa Ibom State, for the honor done to the Senate by receiving warmly the APC Senate President of the 10th Senate. The reception was across party lines, and we received all our colleagues very warmly. He also was there at the reception ceremony, and he showed the example of how collaboration can bring joy to the people, irrespective of party affiliation. So it's also working in tandem with the mantra of the 10th Senate that we must leave party affiliation at the door and enter here as senators of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So I thank all of you for the support, and my family will continue to pray for you, for your well-being, and for your success in all your endeavors. Thank you. And if there's anybody looking at me now, I was not able to come, please come and explain why you didn't come. Accordingly, this Senate is hereby adjourned to Wednesday, the 8th day of May, 2024 at 11 a.m. prompt.
I want to take it personally to him. I want to follow it up personally.